Hey guys, this is your girl Anjanette Curry with Prospective Vision Solutions LLC, Financial Coaching and Services. Today I am bringing to you the budgeting guidelines like I promised. I said that I was going to make a slide show of how to budget, when to budget, and what to do. So this is how to successfully manage your budget using your take-home pay. So, 1 out of 3 Americans don't use a budget. That's what it says. After I did my research, 22 and under, ages 22 and under, 50% use a budget. Ages 23 to 38, 74% use a budget. 39 to 54 years old, 67% use a budget. 55 and older, 67% use a budget. Now, I wonder why ages 23 to 38, more of them are using budgets now. And when I did my research, I thought that was a little kind of off because I thought older people use budget more than younger people. But actuality, I would say a lot of them budget because you have some that are in school paying student loans, and they have jobs that are checking their credit, and then you also have apartments now and utility companies now that are checking your credit, and uh, de- they determine your deposit by your credit um, by your credit report, so by your credit score. And so I wanted to kind of put that in there because I thought that this was important. Come to find out that there are more millennials that are using budgets than older people. So, and out of all the people that was researched, 97% agreed that they need a budget but did not use one. Crazy, right? 34% agreed that they need to do a better job at budgeting, and all agreed that budgeting is necessary to get out of debt. Okay, so if you know that you need to budget, why is it so hard for us to budget? Like, why is it so hard for us to do that? Let's talk about it. So, do you think budgeting is too time consuming? So, as I researched, I found that the reason why a lot of people don't budget or don't consistently use a budget is because they say it's too time consuming. Not everyone who budgets will be successful because a budget is only a guideline. It takes honesty to set a reasonable budget and discipline to stick to it. Most people who do budget report a positive experience. Some people that budget believe that small purchases don't matter, and so they don't add them to their budget, which causes an oversight in what is really spent. Most people argue over budget restrictions and find it frustrating to talk about spending habits. Now, I want to take some time and stop here and talk about you have a lot of married people that are divorcing because of money problems. Usually, when they get married, that is something that they don't talk about when they date. It's kind of a touchy subject when they talk about it, and some of them report that when they get married, they didn't know that their spouse was heavily in debt, and so that caused friction within the relationship. And then two, you have a conservative person that likes to save married to a person that loves to spend and compulsive spender. And then so that causes friction too, because this person may be trying to save for a vacation or something like that, but then the spouse is spending everything they have and they feel like they don't want to save, and so that causes problems too. Also, it causes problems in relationships when you have two people like boyfriend and girlfriends or significant others together. If they don't have that important conversation about money, how do you save? Do you mind saving money? How do you pay your bills? Are you behind all the time? Do you think that emergency funds matter? Do you think we should have an emergency account? Do you think that we should have an account where we put, money just for bills? How do you feel about making sure your bills are paid on time? Those are things that you need to talk about with your significant other, because if you don't, then once you guys move in together, that's going to cause some problems. If you come to find out that this person is a compulsive spender, or they just, a compulsive gambler, or they just love to shop and love to spend their money on nonsense stuff and don't like to save, or don't know how to save, or don't know how to discipline themselves enough to follow a budget, or don't want to follow a budget. So I just think that those things are very important, especially when you're in a relationship. Just make sure that you take some time to sit down and have those conversations to save your relationship, for one, and then two, to make sure that both of you are following the same financial guidelines. 22% of consumers think that budgeting is too time consuming, and 39% stop budgeting over time because they claim that they don't make enough money to successfully keep a budget. Now, I kind of disagree with some of the people that say that they don't make enough. Sometimes you can overspend, and that causes you not to make enough. And then sometimes you can live above your means, and that causes you not to make enough. So I kind of put a chart in here that we're going to go over to kind of make sure that you don't go or live above your means and you don't overspend, because I think this is where we are dropping the ball at when we're trying to live our lives, and we're trying to buy things and spend things that we think we need. So I'm going to we're going to talk about that in a later slide so I can help you through that. So let's do the math. It says that the average mortgage for a single family home is $136,000. The average credit card debt is $16,000. The average student loan debt is $51,000, and the average auto loan is $29,000. The average monthly rent is $650 to $800. Of course, we know that is much more than that, because I just moved out of a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and it was close to $900 a month. And so I would say that typically you're going to pay between $700 to $1,200 in rent if you're trying to rent a 2 or 3-bedroom apartment. The average monthly utility bill is between $150 to $200. Average grocery bill is $200 to $400, and I think that was a family of 4. So if you have a family of more than that and you have to buy groceries without any federal assistance, I'm sure it's more than $400. Average cost for auto and gas is $100 and $130, and this is per automobile. This is not more than one. This is per automobile. So if you have more than one vehicle in a household, then of course it's going to be more. Research shows that most Americans are living above their means. They are spending more than they can afford according to their income level. And I think this is probably 90% of Americans today, that we don't take the time to look at what we can afford. If we like it, we want it, we buy it, and we don't care what situation that puts us in. If we have to struggle to get it, then oh well, I would rather struggle to get it. At least I'm getting what I want. Now, what is an ideal budget? I got this chart to kind of show everybody. Um, This right here is 90% of creating your budget, because you want to know how much you can afford of what, or what's the criteria of for so as how to calculate, how much housing you can afford, how much rent are you supposed to pay according to your income, how much utilities are you supposed to pay according to your income. So an ideal budget housing does not supposed to go over 35% of your income, between 25 to 35% of your take-home pay. Take-home pay. Now, this is what they deposit into your checking account. So what you do is you calculate your monthly. If you get paid every week, then that's 4 check stubs that you look at. If you get paid bi-weekly, then that's 2 check stubs that you look at. And if you get paid monthly, then that's 1 check stub that you look at. So what you do, you calculate all your take-home pay every week, and then you add that up, and that's your monthly income. So of course, with housing, 35%, I said the most you're supposed to pay in housing is 35% of your income. So what you do, if you're making $1,800 a month, you take 1,800 divided by 0.35, and that shows you how much you're supposed to be paying in rent. Now, if your current rent is more than what shows up, more than what that answer is, then you are overpaying in rent. And what you need to do is try to find something within that price range. Now, you may have to step down just a little bit just to get in that price range. But if you're trying to become financially stable, if you're trying to create financial freedom, and if you're trying to create a stable life to where you can purchase a home for you and your family, you're going to have to do this, okay? It's not going to happen if you don't, because you got to set some type of guidelines. You got to set some type of disciplinary actions that you can specifically, consistently follow to get you the results that you need. So housing, 25 to 35%. Clothing, people, you're not supposed to spend more than 5% of your take-home pay in clothing, okay? Medical, 5 to 10%. Utilities, 5 to 10%. This is your lights, your water, your gas, and house phone. Cell phone is going to be personal. Utilities is your lights, your water, your gas, and then your house phone. Does not supposed to go over 10% of your take-home pay. Recreation, this is night out, bowling, hanging with the boys, going to bars, or whatever it is that you like to do for recreation. Going to concerts or stuff like that is no more than 10% of your take-home pay. So you got to calculate that. And whatever that is, you cannot spend over that. Okay, so you have to plan your fun nights or fun dates or fun days around the amount of money that you have to spend for that month. So remember that. Personal, 5 to 10%. This is your nails, your hair, pedicures, uh, birthdays, things like that, do not go over 10%. So you have a budget of 10%, and you got to look at that amount. So that way you can allot, okay, I can only get my nails done maybe once a month or twice a month. I can only get my hair done once a month. So whatever that amount is, you got to just stick to it in order to create your financial plan and get to where you need to be. Giving, this is paying your tithes, donating to charitable donations. I say 10%, but no more than 15%. Some people, you want to be gracious and you pay 10% of tithes and then 5% to charitable organizations. You can do that. It's up to you. You just have to, allot your budget accordingly. Transportation, no more than 15%. So what that means is if you have a car note, once you calculate that 1,800 or whatever your monthly take-home pay times 0.15, whatever that amount is, if your car note or truck note, vehicle note is more than that amount, then you are overpaying. So what you need to do is try to figure out a way that you can maybe trade that vehicle in. Figure out a way if you could trade that vehicle in so you can get your monthly car note at that amount. or you could try to sell it, or try to figure out a way that you can get it down. Now, if it's more, then you're going to have to take from maybe personal, maybe 5% from personal, and then 5% from recreational. So that way you can have enough money to pay whatever you are paying for transportation. Savings, 10 to 15%. I always try to go with the highest percentage. For me, my personal thing, I have created a lifestyle to where I can have 30% of my home take home pay going to savings. And what I do is, what I did was I was paying close to $900 in rent. And what I did, I found an apartment that was smaller, which is a 1 bedroom studio, and I'm only paying $425 dollars a month. So I cut my rent over half, so I can afford to pay 30% towards my savings. And I did that. That was my personal sacrifice, and I made sure I did that so that I could have the life that I want. Okay, food 10 to 15%, no more than 15% on food. Insurance 10 to 20%, no more than 20% on insurance. And this is your home insurance, your car insurance, any type of insurance that you need. Okay, housing again 25 to 35%. And how you calculate that, you take your monthly income times 0.35%, and that's how much house that you can afford. Whether you're paying a house note, if you're purchasing a home, or whether you're renting, that is your number. That's what you can afford. When you hear people say how much house can you afford, then that's your number right there by your income. Okay, guys, let's go. All right, now don't look at me like that. I know what you're saying. I know you're saying ain't no way. My rent is way more than 35% of my income. So you need to think about that. I mean, what type of sacrifice are you willing to make to have the life that you want? In order for you to get to that dream life that you're looking for, you're gonna have to make some type of sacrifice, and you got to make this happen. It's nobody else but you. You have to figure out a way to make this happen. Now let's do the math. Let's look at your budget. I want you to create a budget. And again, you see this spreadsheet. I have it on my website. If you go to my website, which is prospectivevs.com, you're gonna see where it says free resources. You're gonna click on free resources, and all of these worksheets that I'm listing here, that I'm going over, all of these worksheets are on there for free. So you get to create your own budget. You're gonna be able to get all the worksheets that I have there for free. Okay, guys. So I just want to give you an example of a budget, and so that way you can kind of understand how to calculate your budget and how much money you're supposed to put where. So we're gonna say this person makes $1,800. I got a client, when she looked at her check stubs and she added all her take home pay together, she totaled $1,800 a month. So what she did was she took 1,800 times 0.10, and that equals her savings, which is 10%. She took $1,800 times 0.10, and that equals to how much she is supposed to put up for her savings. So she's supposed to save $180 a month. Now, again, yours may be different, so I need you to pull your check stubs. I want you to pull, if you're getting paid every week, I want you to pull your last 4 check stubs. If you're getting paid bi-weekly, I want you to pull your last 2 check stubs. And then if you're getting paid monthly, I want you to look at that monthly check stub, okay? And then this is how you do it, okay? Utilities. Utilities is supposed to be 10% of your take home pay. So hers is $180. So her lights, water, gas, and house phone, if she has a house phone, Only supposed to be $180 total. So what if her bills are totaling more than that, then what she needs to do is try to figure out a way that she can get those utility bills down. Maybe use less water. Uh, maybe have the lights off throughout the day. Only use them whenever she want to. Put the thermostat at 72 and keep it 72 all year round. Things like that. So she need to figure out a way that she can get her utility bills lower, so that way she won't overspend. Insurance, 10%. This is your car insurance. This is your home insurance. It doesn't supposed to be over 10% of your take-home pay. Okay. So hers is $180. Giving is 10%, which is $180. Clothing, 5%. People, this is very important now. She only can spend $90 a month in clothing. That's clothes, that's shoes, that's jewelry, um, hats, socks, underwear, clothing. She can only spend $90 a month. Now, she has to stick to this if she wants to continue to live, if she wants to have the life that she wants, because she wants to purchase a home. She wants to be able to purchase a home. And in order for her to purchase a home, she got to follow this budget. I mean, this is real life here. She has to follow this budget. Recreation is 5%. She can only spend $90 a month hanging out with the girls, going to the movies, eating out and things like that. She only got $90, so she got to work with that $90. Housing, 35%. Guys, this is so important. She can only afford $630. So if she's living in a $700 house, then she is living above her means, which means that she's gonna have to find somewhere where she can stay for $630. Okay. Transportation, 15%, $270. If you have a car and you're making $1,800 and your vehicle note is more than $207, $70, then you are overpaying. You're overpaying. Medical, 5%. You only got $90 to spend on medicine. Medical procedures, doctor visits, and things like that, you can only spend $90 a month. Food, 15%, $270. She only got $270 to spend on food. Personal is 10%, $180, and then debt, 15%, $270, people. This is her credit cards, personal loans, things like that. Um, she can only spend $207 a month in debt. Okay, so think about that. And this is where we live above our means, because our debt ratio is probably 40 or 50%, and then our housing is the other 50%. So we don't have money for nothing else. But if you follow these guidelines, and then you can see where you're going wrong at, you can see where you're overpaying, and that way you can control it. You can work on trying to reduce it, and then and start heading toward the life that you want. So, question to ask yourself: are you in line with your budget? Look at your budget, calculate it like I told you to, and see where you're overspending, and then try to figure it out. What can you cut to meet your budgeting guidelines? Try to figure out what can you cut, what can you do, how can you create extra income to help meet your guidelines? So if you're overspending, what can you do to help meet that? If you can't cut anything and you're stuck with where you are, what can you do? How can you make more money? This is where the side hustles come in. This is my side hustle. I help people budget. I help people. I do vision board workshops. I do financial literacy workshops. I do face-to-face financial literacy. I sit down and help people create a financial game plan that they can follow to get them the life where they want to get. If they tell me that they want to buy a house, or if they want to fix their credit, we sit down and I create a game plan, and I tell them, okay, this is what you do first, this is what you do second, this is where you got to go, this is how much money you got to produce. You got to cut back here, you got to cut back here. So I do that, and I charge people to do that, and that's my extra income. That's, that's my gift that God blessed me with, and so I use it to the fullest, and get paid for it. Okay, so let's talk about some budgeting tips. Let me give you some budgeting tips. I want you to be honest. Tell yourself the truth. Own up to your current situation and take a look at the hard facts. You are in control of your life. You are in control of how you want to live. If you want to be debt free, then you got to take control of it. You got to be honest with yourself. If you're overspending, you got to be honest with yourself. Stop accumulating bad debt. Stop applying for all these credit cards every time you go into a department store and they ask you, we could take 10% off if you apply for this card today. Stop falling for that. Stop applying for all that stuff. Look over your bills. What are you paying out? And decide to cut your costs. See where you can cut. You know, see where you can cut some of that. Do you really need $150 cable bill? Do you need a $200 cell phone bill? Come on. If you can cut it, cut it. I mean, I have a straight talk cell phone. I only pay $55 a month. That's all I pay, and it works everywhere. It works everywhere. I mean, I had AT&T, but my AT&T bill was going $100 one month, then $150 another month, then $80. I mean, it never stayed the same. But with this Straight Talk, $55. $55 is all I pay every month, and it never changed. And I have unlimited internet. Unlimited. So think about that. Create a budget and a game plan, guys. Live frugal, control, and handle your money. Make a list of all your debt that you owe. Write down everything to the letter, even the smallest things. Find out where your money is going. Do you write down the coffee that you stop and get every morning? Do you write down the candy bar or the soda that you go to the vending machine and buy? Do you calculate all that stuff? Because it's coming out your money and it's coming out your budget. So these are things that we need to take a look at. These are things that we need to write down. Impulse buying. I mean, we impulse buy every day and we never think about it. We never add it, you know. So make a list of all the debt that you owe. Write down everything to the letter, even the smallest thing. Find out where your money is going, people. Find out where it's going. Consult a certified bookkeeper, CPA. A bookkeeper is an important part of your team. Rich people have bookkeepers. You have to keep accurate records, people. Okay? Your job is to make money and keep up with it. Bookkeepers hold you accountable and make sure that your numbers are right. If you know you're the type of person that don't like to keep up with your finances and you know you're not going to keep up with your finances, hire somebody that will. It's worth spending that money and paying somebody to help you through this because they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to make you follow your budget, and they're going to make sure you reach your goals. So it's worth it, guys. This is a cost that I don't mind paying because I know my certified bookkeeper, my CPA, certified public accountant, but I call her a bookkeeper because she keeps up with everything that I got. And then when I get ready to file my taxes, all I got to do is just upload my stuff, send it to her, and I have no worries. And if I'm audited for anything, she can take care of it because she's a certified public accountant, which means that she can take care of all that. She's licensed to do that. So I don't have any worries. So, like I said, this is worth it here. Research in your area to see who you have as a CPA. Some of them have monthly payment plans where you can pay by the month. Some of them have where when you file your taxes, they'll just take it out your taxes every year. And so just go by, call them up, talk to them, and ask them what their plans are and what they offer, and tell them what you need. Okay. Now, before you pay anything, pay yourself first. I always try to drill this into my client's head. You need to think about paying yourself. We always get into a habit making sure our bills get paid, making sure this person get paid, making sure that get paid, making sure child care get paid. But we never think of ourselves as a bill, and we don't think about paying ourselves. But I truly believe that we need to start thinking about us as a bill, because in order for us to get where we need to be, we have to set up things to get us there. And one of the things is allotting a plan to where you can pay yourself so you can get where you want to go. Now, how to do this? You set it up to be automatically taken from your pay every pay period into a high yield savings account. A high yield savings account offering 2% or higher interest rate. Be consistent and don't stop no matter what comes up. You continue to let this come out your out your check. And the reason why I'm saying set it up automatically, because out of sight, out of mind. It automatically comes out before you even get your money, which means that it's consistent and you know it's going to get paid. Okay, you know you paying yourself. Just like you set up your bills to be automatic, set up to pay yourself to be automatic also. Start out with as much as you can afford, then increase by 10% every year until you can afford 50% of your income. So what I'm at 30% now. I'm going to try next year to get at 40%, but I do eventually want to get to 50% of my income going to paying me, into my emergency account, into my savings plan, into purchasing stock. So I want to do uh, uh, 20% I want to put in my savings. 10% of it I want to put into my emergency account, and then the other 10% I want to purchase things like insurance guarantors, like insurance policies and things like that. So make sure a visual picture of each make a visual picture of each debt that you owe. Draw a cash flow quadrant for each debt. The upper left hand corner could be your debtor. On the right, put the total amount you owe. The bottom left hand corner should be minimum amount you pay every month. Then the bottom right should be the total payments left. Now I want you to look at it like a T. And you got the left and right, or like a cross or a T. You got the left and right, you got the top and the bottom, and then you got the right top, the left bottom, and the right bottom. So again, if you go to my website, go to free resources, all of these worksheets that I'm mentioning here are there, and they are free, guys. These worksheets are free. Now, determine the order for paying off your debt. Start with the smallest bill, then work your way to the biggest debt. Snowball your debt. I have a snowball worksheet on my website under the free resources that you can print for free. For free. Now, if you're trying to get yourself together, guys, like I said, this is my paying it forward. This is me doing this for you for free. I like to provide free workshops, and since I can't do the workshops, I can't do the face-to-face workshops, I am bringing it to you um, via videos. I'm creating videos for you to have, so that way you can still get it. Okay, now um, come up with an extra $100 to $200 a month and apply that towards your bills. Find ways to create extra income. Get your side hustle on. Remember, I mentioned earlier, if you're overspending, or if you're living above your means, I need you to find a way to create some extra income. And what that means is tapping into your talents. What God gifted talent that you have, that somebody always told you, girl, man, if I were you, I'd be trying to, sell that. Don't you know how much money you can make? Girl, this tastes really good. You should try to figure out, open your own restaurant. Try to figure out ways that you can make some extra money without getting an extra job. Now, if you have time and energy to get an extra job, if that's easier for you to do, then do that. But if you don't have the time or energy and you want to control your time, then I would say create a side hustle. Create a side hustle. What can you make? Can you make soap? Can you make lotions? Can you make bath bombs? Guys, what kind of services can you do? Can you cut hair? Can you wash cars? Those are side hustles. Can you fix things? Can you be a handyman and fix things for people? Can you be a plumber? Can you go in and uh, moving services? You can move things for people for free if you got a truck. Hey, there you go. Apply that extra money towards the smallest bill every month until it's paid off, and pay the minimum amount on all other debt while doing this. Do this for each bill until you have all your bills paid. Invest your extra money in stocks, bonds, rental properties, and real estate. This is very important. This is what they call diversification. When you hear people in investment talking about diversification, they're telling you to put your money in different entities. And different entities are stocks, bonds, rental properties, and real estate. Buy as much as you can. Make sure all of your stocks, your mutual funds, and investments are offering a 10% or higher return on investments, ROI. And I also have a video on how to invest and where to put your investments and things like that. So go to my YouTube channel and watch those videos. Also, make sure you subscribe and like and share those videos. Again, all of these worksheets are on my website. I will list my website later, and they are under the free resources tab, and then you have all those worksheets that I'm talking about for free. So guys, also I do have a workbook that you guys can go to, and then that has list like 12 steps. It has 12 steps that you can follow that will get you to financial freedom. Okay? So, mind your own business. Remember earlier when I was telling you that I do Mind Your Own Business Friday? Every Friday on Facebook, I post a post and tell people to mind their own business, and I list ways of how they can do that. And what that means is paying yourself first. Always remember to pay yourself first. My rule of thumb is 10%. Make sure 10% of your check, I don't care what you have to pay. I don't care what you have to pay. Make sure you are paying yourself 10%. And then if you don't have enough to pay your bills, you call the creditors and pay what you can and tell them you'll catch up the next month. But make sure whatever you do, you are paying yourself first. Okay? The reason why is your money has a language that millionaires can speak fluently. Learn to communicate with your money so you can become a millionaire too. And that meaning is putting your money that can make babies. Okay? You want your money to make babies. And what I mean for that is you want your money to produce passive income. And what that means is producing money to where you don't have to physically work for it. You are investing in entities to where it is producing money for you while you sleep. You don't have to do anything. It's going to automatically produce money. And by buying stocks, investing in rental property where you can rent out, you're renting stuff out, people are going to buy that. People are going to use that. People are going to want those services. So if you're creating income to where you don't have to do anything, then do it. Okay? Learn to mind your own business with your personal finance. Read financial literacy books, listen to financial empowerment radio stations, watch financial literacy videos, stay up to date on today's economy. Your money is going to make someone rich. Shouldn't it be you? Think about that. You are worried about paying everybody else but yourself. Shouldn't your money make you rich too? I did not come to this world to just live and pay bills and die. I'm sorry. I want to be happy. I want to make sure that I'm living the way that I want to live. I don't want to be confined to uh because I decided to live lavishly and didn't think about discipline myself so I can live the way I want. I want to control the way I live. And the only way I can control the way I live is by paying myself first, is by disciplining myself, by creating a budget, by saving and putting money up, and then by investing in passive income. Okay? Now, in order for you, I'm done, guys. This is it. So I want you to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I also want you to go to my website. This is most important because, like I said, if you look here, you got my website link. Go to my website, click on free resources, and then you get all the information that I am giving to you for free. You even get all the worksheets, everything. This is my paying it back moment. Since I can't do um the face-to-face workshops, I'm doing videos. Okay, guys. So this is my paying it forward moment. So now you know how to budget. Now you know what to do. Go to my go to my website and print the actual budget sheet so you can create your own budget. And then also, if you click on shop, I have a 12-week financial gain plan workbook that lists all of this stuff, and it takes you through 12 weeks or 12 steps. It takes you longer than 12 weeks, but it has 12 steps that you can go through to ensure that you are financially stable. Excuse me. And so I start at step 1 and then we go all the way to step 12. And the purpose of the steps is to kind of put you in position to where you're learning a little bit at a time. But by the time you get to the 12th step, you are financially literate. You know everything you need to know to become financially stable. You are in control of your life. You're working on your budget. You're working on your vision board. Like you get to create a vision board. You get to create a, a financial file folder, which, you know, a lot of us don't think about putting all of our important papers into one file folder, right? Or into one file box. So that way, if something happens and we need to leave in an emergency, we could just pick up that file box. How many of y'all thought of that? You know, like you may have all of your important papers like in different areas in your home. Have you thought about putting it all in one file box? Let's say your house is on fire and you need to get out like fast, quick, fast, in a hurry. Wouldn't you like to be secure to know that you could just pick up that file box and run out the house with it and put it in your car, and that's your whole life right there? That's your insurance papers, your insurance policies, your titles to your vehicles, your savings, stocks, all that paperwork is in one file box. So I talk about that in my workbook. So please, guys, please. All right. My website is www.prospectivevs.com, and you can also email me. Now, if you need to inbox me, or if you got questions or concerns or something, if you don't want to leave it in the comment, I would like for you to leave something in the comment below, okay, to let me know that this makes sense to you, you understand it, and to let me know to continue to create these videos. I want to know if I'm helping somebody. I want to know if what I'm doing is actually putting that fire in your head to make you want to do better. Okay, so my email is anjanette.curry gmail.com. And then if you would like to be a sponsor or donate to my cause, because a lot of times I go to different places like libraries and things like that, and I provide free workshops. I do vision board workshops, I do budgeting workshops, I do financial literacy workshops, I do credit repair workshops, and I do all of this stuff for free. Like, I pay for my own gas, I pay for my own food, I pay for my own hotels if I have to stay overnight. I pay for the printing. Like, I have to print paperwork or worksheets for you guys to fill out so you can take home with you. Um, I print those out and I have to pay for all that. So if you would like to be a sponsor, or if you would like to donate to the cause to help me do this, to help me continue to do this, feel free to go to my PayPal page, and you could do it there, or you can send, send a donation on Cash App. I have a Cash App. If you inbox me and say, hey, I would like to donate, I will send you the Cash App link. Um, thank you guys. This is your girl Anjanette Curry with Prospective Vision Solutions LLC, financial coaching and services. I had a wonderful time with you guys, and like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this if you know somebody that needs the help. And write me a comment. Send me a comment and let me know this is working, okay? If you have any questions, don't be shy. Ask me a question, okay, guys? Ask me a question. I would love feedback. I like people interacting with me. I like people telling me what I am doing right. And I also like to hear feedback of what I can do better. If you feel like I missed something here and I need to add it, let me know. Let me know so my next video will be even better, because um, I get to apply the things that you're telling me to apply. So my time is up, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope I left something with you that will inspire you to do better and become financially stable. Thank you, guys. You guys have a blessed day or evening or afternoon, whatever side of the world that you're living on. And I want you guys to stay safe and stay healthy. All right. Peace. I am out.